Welcome back, baseball fans, to another elimination video. We're eliminating the Detroit Tigers. This is 2 years ago stats we're going to look at first. This is the 2003 version of the Tigers that lost the World Series to the Pirates. 33-18. Look at the team batting average, 253. Write that down. It's going to become very consistent. Offensively, you've got Willie Horton with a monster year, 16-43. Norm Cash, 12-43, doing incredible stuff there, leading the offense. The pitching, Hiller's got 11 saves. His ERA is 44 cents. The rest of the bullpen is also outstanding. Lolich, 11-5, 10 complete games, doing his thing. Joe Coleman hung in there, had some big World Series victories, was 10-5. So overall, that's a very determined bunch for your 2023 Tigers. Now last year, the regression began. They lost in the divisional round versus the Pirates. Again, 248. ERA slightly up to 381. Net run differential was a negative on a team that was just a couple games over 500. But even more monster year to Willie Horton with 20 home runs. Northrop and Freehan had nice years. K-Line's up there, Hiller is doing his thing again, though the ERA is up. Lolich numbers starts to regress a little bit, 9-4. Okay, now this year, finally, they get knocked out in the wild card round. They're 19-18, and now you see the cracks finally giving way here. The cracks have formed. A nice year to Bill Freehan. LaFleur looks pretty promising. Willie Horton still delivering the average, but look at the homers dropped to 6 after 20 and 15 the 2 years prior. And sadly, Norm Cash hit a single home run. K-Line had a couple, and then Dick McAuliffe had a disaster at second base, hitting 126. Hiller, again, a fantastic year for that card with a 183 ERA. But Fidrich, 7-4, delivering the goods, arguably as good as he did in 76. Here he's asked to lead a playoff team, and he did very well, actually. Mickey Lolich finally stumbles to a 2-6 record, 398 ERA. Maybe the end is near for him also. And the 3-year slide of the Detroit Tigers. Moreover, now we're going to see contracts going up in 1973. Let's take a look at the Detroit Tigers here. Somewhat heartbreaking, but it's sort of predictable here, folks. These are the players from 73 who will be up for keeping, waiving, retiring, and it is just a brilliant list of Tiger heroes, Ring of Honor guys. So who do they bring back? Well, the offense. You got Freehan has a still nice card. He's the last sole survivor of 68 with Jerry Moses. Dave Chalk was a nice addition. Verizer's an interesting player. Horton's still around. LaFleur's a nice card, and Mickey Stanley. Now, one obvious glaring problem this team has in those 7 hitters is that they're all right-handed batters, folks. That's 7 of 7. Because we saw all the lefties go. Northup, Cash, McAuliffe. Yeah, they're leaving town, or it would seem they are. They could use a left-handed bat. Perhaps it's Rusty Staub. He arrives in 76, I believe. Pitching staff, you still have Fidrich and Lolich. Lemanchek is a relief 4-starter, 8. Jerry Johnson, Oscar Zamora. Yeah, not a lot, is it? We're getting into that dead spot in the middle 70s for the Tigers, and this, yeah, they couldn't miss the playoffs altogether next year. They probably should. After all this great talent of 73 that's going to leave the organization. So with that, we'll take a look and see who they decide to keep, put on waivers, and retire. All right, we'll take a look at these players from 1973, beginning with Norm Cash. And oh my goodness, folks. Let's take a look at the brilliant career of Norm Cash. One thing that stands out, of course, the brilliant 61 season, the monster season of Cash, all right?
He's 27 years old. He's only been with the Tigers a couple years. He's already 27 back then. You know, 68 series, he's already 34. He goes all the way. And if you look at these numbers, the OPS numbers, right around 8 or over, look at the consecutive years. Oh, yeah, you had to raise the pitching mound in 67 to get him over, get him under 800, right? But everywhere else, and even in the, when he's 40 years old and 74, he still plays. Strat does not print that card, however. We confirm that by going over to the Tigers sheet for the 74 season. They didn't go with him. I guess I went with Ogley at first base, maybe. Mickey Stanley could play first. In any event, or John Knox. They went with his card instead. So that is the end of the brilliant career of Norm Cash in Detroit. And this is a sad day in Detroit. I'm telling you, folks. This is a sad one. Next up, well, it's Al Kaline. Now, here's some good news. It's not the end of the line for Al. Even older player. You thought a 40-year-old guy. Well, I mean, he was a kid when he started, you know, 18, 19. So that's the edge. He's a little bit younger than Norm Cash, slightly younger. But in 74, he comes back, and he's a 262 average as a full-time DH. Obviously, this is like two scenarios. One, they add that card, or they retire that card. That's it. He's not going to get put on waivers or picked up by another team. So they either decide they want to run that card, and they should, and they practically will. They're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to just say that they might not be competing for playoffs next year, but they're going to at least have the Al Kaline retirement tour next year. He'll be a keeper. Next up is Dick McAuliffe. God, it was a cool player. Lots of on base here. Same theme as the other guys. He's only 34. He's a spring chicken compared to the other guys. 67, he walked 105 times when they raised the pitching. He still had a 775 OPS in that year. Oh, amazing. 68 for the world champs. He did all right. 73, a big year we just had. 74, he gets sent to Boston, and he's very bad. Now, they might make that card for waivers for what it's worth. Boston. They should. Yeah, so he's got a Boston card in 74. That puts him on waivers. And frankly, they don't want to bring him back. I mean, you gotta, you know, you're bringing Kaline back. That's probably good enough. I know you need left-handed batters, but you got to do better than that. Speaking of left-handed batters, Jim Northrup going down the list. And there are a lot of Tiger haters out there. A lot of fans who are sick of the Tigers who are enjoying this. I can tell you that right now. But these are like legends of the Detroit Tigers. They're all kind of leaving at the same time. It's kind of bittersweet here. He's only 34. So he hit 307. Then in 74, he bounces through Detroit, Montreal, and Baltimore. Actually, he's got a nice card with Baltimore in 75. He's got juice left, folks. Do the Tigers... Now, this is what the Tigers could do. They could just keep him and not let him do this little trip to Baltimore and just say, let's just get our guy and let him finish his career here through 75. I'm of the opinion, let's just do it. Let's just honor these guys and just... I know they need a left-handed bats. So Northrop certainly qualifies for that. You'd like a younger left-handed bat. But they need to keep their guys. So Northrop is going to push through to his 75 card. He's not going to go to Baltimore. Next up, Jerry Terrell wasn't really a Tiger at all. He was just a free agent. He was a Twin, I believe, Kansas City Royal. Yeah. Nice utility player, but definitely not necessary. He'll have a card in 74 with the Twins to get him on waivers. Yeah. He's got a card with the Twins. Let's just put him on waivers. We have no interest in him. frankly, K-Line and Northrop, a lefty-righty DH platoon. That's what that could be. Willie Horton was the DH. Maybe he has to play left field. Oops. Well, that's what you got to do when you're doing what you're doing for the Tigers. Next, the delightful Gary Gentry card of 73. He did all right. Pitched that game you just saw. Did a very nice job. The inherited runner loss. His big moan, of course, was 69. So at 22 years old and 69, let's show you the postseason pitching. Yeah, I mean, 2-0, the 2.08 ERA. He got a win against Baltimore in the World Series through 6 2/3 shutout innings. Pitched in relief against Atlanta. Just a great little run there in 69. And then after that, he's got a few nice years in here. The year we just had, 73. 71 is also pretty good. But now he approached 74. He can't go on waivers. And in 75, that card's not going to exist with just 20 innings. So we know we also have to retire a young player. Gary Gentry has to be retired. This is a little disappointing that the Tigers have to retire a young person. Two more left. Bob Veal, longtime Pirate, played for Boston for a year, and I think he might be done as well. The Tigers do not shy away from older players. We know that. And so he was 37 years old. They don't make this card in 74. So he also goes on retirement. Which leaves, of course, John Hiller. I'm not even going to look. I'm going to make him a keeper. We'll look at his card, the stats, though. Figure out which year it might be. John Hiller. Now you can see why they're going to keep Northrop. They don't have enough keepers. So here, Hiller had the brilliant 73. He's an all-star in 74. Am I reading this correctly? Did he win 17 games and lose 14 games? He certainly did. In 150 innings with a 126 whip. Number 7, Cy Young. Top 20 MVP. No-brainer territory. And frankly, a career Detroit Tiger. And when you look at the extended years here, you can push this guy all the way to at least 78 with the Tigers. After that, it gets kind of shaky at the last couple years. But yeah, he's going to be on the Tigers all the way through 78. So he's going to have 4, 5, 6. He's going to have at least 5 more years in Detroit. So John Hiller's a no-brainer. Which leaves the Tigers with 3, 2, and 3. Not bad. They do have to make a deal to get a keeper. We'll take a look at that possibility. You feel good about Northrop, but he's the only left-handed bat on the team as a keeper. So perhaps they can find a left-handed keeper before draft time begins. They obviously have to make a deal because they have too many retirees. We can also figure how many possible players. We go into our formula for keeper waive retire here. This purple box shows the number of teams have already been eliminated. It's been the 20 non-playoff teams. So put in 21 for Detroit. And what this is saying right now in these numbers is that there are 10 players on the 21 teams that want to be kept. And what's going to happen is they're not going to get any calls because teams aren't going to make a trade when they know 10 players are just going to be added to the waiver list. The waiver list in the middle is short those 10 players, and the retirements are right on par. So this is where the Tigers can simply snipe a guy before the off-season, before the draft even begins. Looking at teams with a possible, the Yankees, well, they don't have a lefty there. Just seeing if I can find these guys a left-handed bat here. Ron Fairley. Ron Fairley's a left-handed bat the Tigers could get, as he won't be kept. And he would replace Norm Cash, you could say. What else do we have here? Nobody there. Oh, the Brewers have a lot. John Briggs. There's a left-handed bat, DH outfielder type. They're not going to get Darryl Porter. He'll be kept. Kansas City, nope. The Texas Rangers have a lot, but they're lefties. And McCarver, no, they're not going to get him. Gary Thomason, yeah, they could. It wouldn't be a wise investment. But there are guys. Again, Dell Unser, Billy Williams, the Cubs. Billy Williams didn't finish his career with the Cubs. I think he finished it with Oakland. Could Billy Williams finish his career with the Tigers? That'd be kind of fun. Arguably, when he plays his final year, it won't be that big of a deal who he plays for because he didn't complete his Cub career with the Cubs. Let's see, Vegas. Hey, you could get Ed Brinkman or Aurelio Rodriguez to come back. That doesn't help your left-handed hitting problem, though. You can get Ron Bloomberg, that left-handed DH. Bernie Carvo, he could go to Detroit. That'd be fun. Houston's got a bunch of guys. None are left-handed, though. Oh, Roger Metzger, the switch-hitting shortstop. That'd be nice. Switch-hitting shortstop for Detroit. They love defense, and after Ed Brinkman, so, yeah. Giants, Ed Goodson. He doesn't have much life left. Tito Fuentes. Actually, yes. Tito Fuentes is the guy. Fuentes went to the Tigers in '77. That's the guy. That's the guy. And he's the middle infielder, taking the McAuliffe spot. That's the guy to target in the offseason. He'd be cheap. The Giants will say, what are you going to trade us? And the Tigers will be like, we ain't going to trade you nothing. I dare you to keep him. And the Giants will be like, well, we got to keep Bobby Bonds, Gary Matthews, Willie McCovey, and I guess Ed Goodson. So that's the strategy teams use when they're short of keepers, in the case of the Tigers. And again, if you look at this number up at the top here, that's what we do. We create a value for the guys you want to keep, $10,000, tokens, units. A waiver player generates $100, and if you go in retirement, you get $1 and a bus ticket. And you add these numbers up, and that way you can look at the 3 keepers, 2 waivers, 3 retires right there in between those zeros. You see that? That's why we multiplied each column by 100, starting at 1 times 100, 10,000. So that's it today for eliminating the Detroit Tigers. A classic veteran group. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.